My friends, there's great reason why the Feast of the Sacred Heart of Jesus and the Feast of the Immaculate Heart of Mary, the memorial, are next to each other because, of course, they bespeak this great intimacy between the Sacred Heart of Jesus and the Immaculate Heart of Mary. In fact, arguably the greatest single theologian saint that spoke and educated and preached on the two hearts, St. John Eudes, said, "The hearts of Jesus and Mary are so united, you could even speak about them as one heart, because the Immaculate Heart of Mary does everything in conformity to the Sacred Heart of Jesus." Well, certainly this was true on earth. Our Lady, as the Catechism of the Council of Trent told us, never sinned, not even venial sin. Well, if her heart was entirely conformed to His heart while on earth, of course that's going to continue after the beatific vision and the glories of heaven. One heart, the heart of Jesus and Mary. Of course, we're talking about Jesus as a divine person with two natures. Mary is the perfect, immaculate human, but their wills are so conformed you can speak of them as one heart. I'm always reminded of the kind of insight of Father Garrigou-Lagrange. Reginald Garrigou-Lagrange was a great 20th century Dominican thinker, and he said that as a child he had devotion to the hearts of Jesus and Mary, but then as he entered seminary he thought that perhaps with philosophy and the beginnings of dogmatic theology, that devotion to the two hearts was something more for the common faithful, kind of a devotional thing and not really true of an authentic theologian. Well, as he continued in his studies, he came to the realization that the deepest insights of dogma and spirituality are all contained in devotion to the Sacred Heart of Jesus and the Immaculate Heart of Mary. Why so? Because the heart of Jesus is the perfect expression of God's infinite love for humanity. God the Son becoming man and then extending His heart to us to be pierced so that we can love Him and be saved by Him. So the Sacred Heart of Jesus really contains all of dogmatic theology and revelation in this expression of God's infinite mercy and love for us. The Immaculate Heart of Mary is humanity's perfect response to the perfect and divine love of Jesus. And so with the Immaculate Heart of Mary, as St. Thomas Aquinas said, we kind of have Mary's yes representing all of humanity's willingness to accept and cooperate with God's love and mercy. Now, of course, that yes has to be done individually by each human being, but Mary represents the proper response to God's love. So the Sacred Heart of Jesus representing all of God's infinite love and truth and mercy and wisdom, the Immaculate Heart of Mary representing humanity's proper response to the love of Jesus. Commonly speaking, my friends, practically speaking, devotionally speaking, consecrate yourself to the Sacred Heart of Jesus and the Immaculate Heart of Mary. No competition there, my friends. It's not like, well, if I consecrate myself to the Sacred Heart, what about the Immaculate Heart, or vice versa? Their two hearts are totally united. To consecrate yourself to one is to really, in a certain sense, consecrate yourself to both. But go ahead and consecrate yourself specifically to both. Why? Because when you consecrate yourself to the Sacred Heart of Jesus and the Immaculate Heart of Mary, you are saying, I want each and every grace, each and every blessing, each and every promise that has been made to devotion to these two hearts. And that's what we want. You know, we can be greedy in grace, so to speak. We can be, we want to open our hearts to every conceivable grace that heaven offers to us. And there are tremendous graces for us personally, for our families, for our marriages, for society, and of course, for the whole world when we consecrate ourselves to the Sacred Heart of Jesus and the Immaculate Heart of Mary. The power of consecration really comes forward, for example, at Fatima, when Our Lady gives as a world remedy to sin and to the errors of communism, consecration to her Immaculate Heart. Not just a pious devotion for the few, a supernatural release of power for all who open their hearts to the Sacred Heart of Jesus and the Immaculate Heart of Mary. So, if you consecrate yourself to these two hearts, envision your heart between the Sacred Heart of Jesus and the Immaculate Heart of Mary, and that's where it truly will be. No fear, no anxiety when we are ensconced between the Sacred Heart of Jesus and the Immaculate Heart of Mary. Of course, humanity calls us to experience times of fear and anxiety, but so much more lessened and so much more peaceful when we are indeed between those two hearts. make the consecration. Consecrate yourselves, your families, all that you have a type of spiritual jurisdiction over, and see the graces and the power and the blessing that comes through devotion to the Sacred Heart of Jesus and the Immaculate Heart of Mary. God bless you.